Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Flukes by Zentangle. This is a grid-based tangle, and it's a grid that is more on the diamond than it is like a square grid. So, and I'm going to do mine a little bit curvy-ish. I'm going wild here, guys. Going wild. Yeah. For me, anyway. All right, so you can, what's nice about a lot of these grid patterns is that you can have fun with them. You can, I decided, well, I'm just going to add a little bit of a curve and not make it so square. Just because I feel like I need to get out of my comfort zone. And then my pen is, I think I'm moving my pen too fast. Oh, and I don't want to mess. There we go. All right. I'll just redo a couple. See, I was going all crazy. And my pen said, stop it, stop it. I don't know what to do with you. All right. So once you have your grid in place, then, let's see. Okay. Well, the way I have done it, so we want it to, you want to look at it from the diamond perspective, for the most part. And then as I said that, I'm like, oh, but it couldn't work if I do like this. All right, so let me just show. So I'm just going to start here in the middle, and we're going to box out the corner. And in my step out, I have us doing this. So it's kind of a box. So a box here, and then aura-ing. As many times as you can fit. So I basically can fit 3 lines in there. And then we'll shade in or fill in this box. I was thinking, well, if you look at it like this, you could put all those side boxes in. And this is totally going to date me. Because nowadays, if you bowl, they have the electronic one, so you don't even have to keep score. But, this always makes me think of if we're doing like this, bowling. Anyway, as I said, I just, let's just date myself. So I give you those couple options. You can either fill, do these, initial boxes first if you want to. Boy. The nib on this pen is getting a little short because I've used it a whole lot. And so if I use it on the side, which typically the O1s and these nib pens are better if you use them straight up and down, but for the video, I want to be able to have you see. And I think you can. Okay. So, like I said, either way, and actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put in those boxes first. And then on these little side things, okay, I'm going to have to make that one up. And I'm going to do this so that way I can fill in with a thicker pen. Okay. And, and as I'm doing this, I'm thinking, it might be just a smidge easier to do it on the side because it's easy to see that box. So that's why I leave it up to you. That one I think would be empty. This one I think would be hidden. That one too. Okay, very good. So let me fill these guys in. Oh, there we go. All right, always nice to have, this is the graphics one. It's nice because it's thicker. It looks like a brush tip, but it's really not, and it's really good for filling in. Now, they do have bigger nibs. Let's see, they go, at least as far as I know, they might even have like a 2, but I know they go as small as an 005. What I was using was the 01, and they now go up to a 12. So if you want to just, if you want to do your tangles and make them bold right from the start, with having a bold line, those are really great to use. They work okay with the fill-in, but this graphics seem to work a lot better. All right, let me pause and finish this so you don't have to suffer through it. Be right back. Okay, and there we go. So, as I mentioned, oops, and I see where I missed one, but that's okay. So as I mentioned, you could do this section first, where you're just filling in all those corners, and then come back. Let me do it this way. There we go. And we're just doing a nice little aura. And I'm just going to put 2 in because I know I can do that consistently. And I think this one also works nice when you have them even closer together. So even a smaller grid works really good. And then here is just going to be 2 lines. This one, so when you get to these little partials, if you do something like this, you just have to imagine what it looks like if the whole box was there. And a lot of times I wait and do that at the end, because by then I've kind of got the, like I like to say, the groove of it in my hand and in my head. And see, in this one, kind of working it backwards, you know, we'll put this little tip here of what that box would be and fill it in. And this one is just going to be 1. And it's just a neat pattern. And like I said earlier, you can make your, oops, let me straighten this up. You could make your grid as wonky as you want and have, just like I said, have a lot of fun with it. Okay, I have to look. Okay, that's going to be straight. That's going to be straight. Then up here, I needed to fill that one in. Sorry, bumping. Let me turn the tile. So this one, I don't necessarily turn the tile because it's, okay, that's going to be like that. It's because I like to see it the same way, but I wanted to turn it for you so that way you can see instead of seeing my hand. Okay, and this one I think will do the same thing. So there'd be a little tip right there. Oh, and then over here, let's see, we would have, and so sometimes like for these, I'll start at the bottom versus at the top where this is. Oops, and let's see, this would be a straight line. Oh, yeah. Let's see, that would be a straight line there. Okay, a lot of times having all of those little edges, to me, it makes an enormous difference in the overall pattern. Oh, let me, that wasn't right at the edge there. And there we have it. Now, for shading, what works good is to, let me look here, find my pencil. Oh, my pencils are always disappearing. There's always a number of ways that you can shade this. Here's one, and that is, I'm just going to go really just in between, you know, you don't have to go over the black, but I'm just going to follow the curve of this line. And of course not there. And I'm working to not get into the other side, just underneath. Although I do have another idea, because this one is kind of big, I think I could get away with it. Let's just see first. And I'm not touching the black because the black is still a bit wet. If you're using Zentangle Original tiles, or like this is essentially, it's a cotton, like a watercolor paper. If you do this, you know, and it's all wet, you just might want to let it dry a little bit, because then what ends up happening is you end up picking up some of the paper, you know, and the ink. Okay, so you can see how that has all of a sudden given some depth. And because mine are big, I'm going to do it the other direction also. So you just have to gauge it. So this is essentially just going down the grid lines. And I'll do this on a lot of them. This one I think is going to make the effect even neater and kind of make it look like scales, sort of. And then, of course, you know, the darker that you go, the more dramatic it will be. and you can play with that. I like to go light. If you've been watching the videos, you're hearing me say it right before I'm saying it. I like to go light because we don't put erasers in our kits. And while I know everybody has one and everybody could use one, there is a certain something about just pen and ink. And ooh, let me back that up a little bit. That looks really neat like that. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I was originally thinking, oh, this is kind of a little bit sloppy, not real happy with it. But you add that shading in and poof. And so doesn't this look like a close-up of scales on something maybe? Just really, really neat. When that shading just makes such a difference. And I got so wild I forgot what I was saying. So anyway, it's something I've probably repeated 100 times anyway. So I love it when I get floored by, by Zentangle, because I'm not one that ever said I could draw to save my life, especially like even stick figures. And this is just amazing. Just a few straight lines, strategically, on purpose. That's what makes Zentangle different than doodling, is that these are lines on purpose. On purpose with a purpose. And then adding the shading in is just wow. Oh, okay. I like it when I impress myself. So, and I've done this one before, and it's like, oh, it's just so neat. All right. Well, with that, I hope you enjoyed. In the description box will be my step out for this, as well as ways to connect with me if you wish to. I do free classes and paid classes. I have a mixture of both. And if you click on the link for my website and then find the link for classes there, the information is all there. And let's see. Oh, yes, if you enjoyed. Would love to have a thumbs up, and especially would love to have you subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, hit the notification bell next to it so that way you can let YouTube know just how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified at all. And I think that's it. So with that, I wish you happy tangling.